Assalamualaikum and good day. Today, we will be presenting our project entitled Cmart Wholesale Wall Ceiling and Wall Collapse. For your information, our group consists of 4 students.
On 8 October 2013, at around 8:40 morning, a structural failure occurred at Cmart Wholesale Mall located in Complex Darul Aman Industrial Area in Jutra Kedah. In the morning, part of the ceiling and the walls of the mall suddenly collapsed before the mall opened to the public. Fortunately, there is no casualties were reported. The mall has been operating for only less than 3 months. This incident led to an immediate investigation by the Kubang Pasu Municipal Councils and the Fire and Rescue Department to determine the underlying cause of the failure.
Moving to our discussion on the topic, the Cmart Wholesale Wall Collapse highlights serious problems in construction management. The developer rented out the premises without obtaining the required certificate of fitness, showing clear regulatory non-compliance. Material defects, poor installation practices, and insufficient structural support all contributed to the failure. This case emphasizes why safety compliance is so important. Structural integrity must be verified before opening any building to the public. Engineers and building owners must prioritize risk management and conduct thorough inspection to prevent accidents. The key takeaways are straightforward. Proper planning and inspection are critical. Regulatory compliance prevent accidents. The certificate of fitness is mandatory before opening, and safety must never be compromised for expediency.
Now I will present the technical and engineering issues. The first issue is shortcoming in structural design. Crack sound was heard before the building collapsed, indicate overstressed connection and insufficient support. The poor connection and design caused the sudden failure. This violates the Section 15(1) of the REA 1967. The second issue is poor construction quality. Heavy rainfall may have weakened the concrete structure. Reveal the insufficient supervision and quality control during the construction. This may violate the Regulation 24A of the Regulation of Engineer Regulation 1990. The third issue is failure in risk assessment. The building is refurbished after being abandoned for a few years, introduced compatibility issues. The engineer failed to assess the safety before reopening the building. It violated the Regulation 24B of the Regulation of Engineer Regulation 1990. The last issue is non-compliance with the certification. The mall is open without certificate of fitness. The premature occupancy is no verification of the structural safety. It violates the Section 7027 of the Street Drainage and Building Act 1974.
Now, we will examine the 4 key ethical failures surrounding the Cmart collapse, analysed through the lens of the Registration of Engineers Act 1967. First, the failure to prioritise public safety and welfare. The mall operated for nearly 3 months without a certificate of fitness, meaning commercial rental revenue was clearly prioritised over mandatory public safety certifications. This directly violates the ethical principle that an engineer must regard public safety as paramount. Second, there was a failure in professional supervision and oversight. Despite maintenance staff hearing cracking sounds before the collapse, no immediate action was taken. This suggests a critical breakdown, inactive supervision, and a potential delegation of inspections to unqualified personnel, which is a breach of Section 7 of the Act. Third, we identified a breach of integrity. By bypassing the Kubang Pasu Municipal Council's regulations and ignoring CCC protocols, the parties involved undermine the legal framework and public trust in our profession. And finally, a lack of accountability in design verification. Prioritizing cost-cutting over engineering fundamentals and failing to conduct a final structural audit before opening represents a severe lapse in professional judgment. Under the Act, engineers are ethically obligated to exercise their judgment to stop unsafe occupancy to protect the public.
To prevent future structural failures, preventive measures must be grounded in the Registration of Engineer Act 1967 and enforced by the Board of Engineers Malaysia. First, engineers must strengthen their legal and professional duty of care. This means all engineer designs, including non-structural components, must be certified by a professional engineer with a proper risk assessment and compliant verification before completion approval. Secondly, strict supervision is needed. Under Section 7 of the Act, only registered professional engineer may supervise engineering works. Regular site inspection and independent design verification should be mandatory. The third one is structural audit and monitoring system must be institutionalized, including 5 years audit and non-destructive testing to detect early defects. Finally, professional accountability must be enforced under Section 15, ensuring disciplinary action against negligence. By rigorously applying the Engineer Act, Malaysia can significantly enhance public safety and reduce the risk of future structural failures.
To conclude, the Jitra Wall collapse teaches us that engineering failures are rarely just technical problems. They stem from breakdowns in supervision, maintenance, and professional accountability. Moving forward, we must uphold our duty of care through strict oversight at every project stage, implement regular structural audits to catch defects early, and strengthen the enforcement of the Registration of Engineers Act and BM regulation. Only through these combined efforts can Malaysia build a safer construction industry and prevent similar tragedies in the future. That's all from us. Thank you.